you want to eat and have fun, young man, why don't you just wait until lunchtime? Hello there, BTS and sports fans. Probably mostly BTS fans, really. My name is Comedian, and in other exciting news, the sky is blue. Today, I'm doing a BTS reaction, which I have done recently, but what I haven't done recently is a reaction to a BTS song. But I've had a few people say, I've been doing the Rise of Bangtan documentary series. It's a very, very well-made documentary series. Go and check it out on YouTube if you haven't seen it yet. If you've been living under a BTS-shaped rock. People were saying, before I get around to the next episode, which I believe will be episode 2, I should check out some of the earlier songs. And I keep seeing N.O, no, but N.O, definitely no. I keep seeing that one mentioned, so I thought it might make sense to do it, especially because I found it quite interesting how the documentary series really, kind of revealed to me that their early songs are all about school, but kind of like, and I guess, when I first started to BTS and people mentioned their earlier stuff and they said it was about school, I had certain, preconceived notions, connotations of what prejudices, maybe, of what that might be. But I think it's actually about, quite sort of deep stuff about, education systems, which I can definitely get behind. Because education did not agree with me. I mean, some classes did, the ones where I got A's in, and the other classes, didn't agree with me, the ones where I didn't get A's. But there's more problems than that. Anyway, I just want to thank a few of you who recommended this. So I want to thank Celeste Gregory for my Patreon. I want to thank Snapcrackly Pop for giving me a link to this video with subtitles, which is nice. Thank you for that. And I also want to thank Must Love Maps and Victoire D as well. And thank you guys for watching. And if you're enjoying my content already, if you're enjoying this thrilling intro, then make sure you are subscribed, have notifications turned on, and check out my Patreon in the links for some fun paid times. There's Run BTS and Bon Voyage on there. There's a reason to go there, maybe. Anyway, I think I have seen an earlier BTS songs. I think maybe this is the first properly school one I've seen, maybe. So let's check it out. I'm genuinely quite looking forward to this. Big hit. From what I hear, we won't be seeing that logo anymore. Oh wow, well, the imagery in this is already spectacular. But you pretty much got a hybrid orgy baby of like stormtroopers and those strange guardmen from the Hunger Games, and probably like a couple of paid skins from Call of Duty in here. Like, wow. This is the premium learning space. Optimum Children Optimization Center. Oh, the red pill. Oh, bollocks. It's been a while since I saw The Matrix. Is the red pill the good one or the blue pill? I should know this. Red pill versus blue pill. I think red pill is the one you swallow to be in denial. I mean, that would make sense with the imagery. Let me just double check on that. No, I'm glad I checked. I was wrong. That makes sense now because I just remembered, unfortunately, about some very gross online spaces that use the red pill as some kind of like delightful imagery for freeing yourself by becoming a hateful piece of shit. Anyway, so yeah, the red pill. So I guess them swallowing the red pill, or about to have swallowed the red pill, is going to be an exciting. Whoa! Well, I called it. All right, it's getting lit. The red pill stands for fire. It's amazing to me that BTS have been saying things that not many pop artists will. And I guess, maybe calling them pop is unfair but that's just kind of the nature of the beast, isn't it? I mean, back in their day, and obviously there's a lot of parallels drawn between them, but the Beatles were seen as pop. They had a hugely female fan base that kind of looked down upon back in the day, and now they're revered. And I'm sure BTS will be kind of, even more iconic in like 30, 40 years, whatever. But it's a very interesting, I have a lot of respect for these guys, that they've been saying some very important things that aren't spoken about very often since day one, really. I mean, will a nice house and a nice car bring you happiness? I mean, I have quite a nice apartment, and through fortunate means, quite a nice car. Not overwhelmingly happy. I've been doing better these days, but actually what's been better for my happiness has been exercise, therapy, connecting with friends, not really things that, you know, you can really put a price tag on. Well, I guess you can put a price tag on therapy in America, but that's a whole other problem. Anyway, much respect to these chaps for speaking about this stuff. Oh, I wish. But the funny thing is, like, this is such a universal sentiment. It doesn't change once you get older. Schoolhouse and PC room is all we have, except, you know, and that just becomes like, you know, warehouse, converted warehouse with maybe a pool table if you have like a fancy job, or, you know, a corner office, or even a cubicle. But it goes from school to, you know, to work area, house, and computer room is all we have. For me now I'm kind of self-employed. You know, I do work for myself, but I'm not a great employer, and I don't pay very well so far. But I'm kind of self-employed, so I don't even have the school / work environment anymore. I just have the PC room. This is the same thing, and it's not a house, it's an apartment. So apartment and PC room is all we have, but still very accurate. Ooh, okay. Adults made this frame and we fall into it. I like the way they phrase that. It very clearly, you know, states that there's no consent, you know, like, but it's almost like, it's quite an interesting way of putting it, because it's almost like, even if you think you consented to it, you tripped and fell, you know what I mean? Obviously no one chooses to trip and fall, but maybe you accept falling, but the point is that, you know, but the point is to remember that there was no consent, there was no choice in the beginning point. You adults. They really should have used Jungkook as a spokesman for this, because I think around the time he was like 15, 16-ish, like Western age, whereas the rest of them were like 20, 21. Not really adults technically, but, you know, legally technically kind of adults. Morally, mentally maybe less so. But the point is really the same, you know. I'm still saying this, and I'm an adult, again, legally speaking. Mentally still really not sure about that, but I'm an adult and I very much agree with all this. And this goes a lot deeper than some of the average, like, you know, screw school sentiment I've heard in songs. This is really quite a bold thing to say. We stand upon even our closest friends, as in we stand on their backs. Society teaches you to really, like, and it's ironic really. That's the downfall of a heavily capitalist society sometimes. But, you know, the point of a society originally, one would think, is people coming together, pooling their resources. The point of the first caveman that walked over to the other caveman and said, hey, instead of clubbing me in the head every morning, why don't we join together and pool our food? And if one day I have more food and then one day you have more food, you know, each day will be consistent. And, you know, I know how to draw cave paintings, and you know how to build spears. So we can have nice art in the evening and great weaponry in the morning. It just makes sense. And then they were like, okay. And then it happened. Presumably, I mean, I'm not a historian, but I think that's probably roughly how it went down. But now we have a society that is increasingly telling us to distrust, you know, our neighbors, to want to get ahead of our neighbors, to, you know, to quite literally stand upon their backs if we have to succeed. But the idea of succeeding is an empty promise, you know, because nobody who ever succeeds is happy, and it's never enough. If it was enough, then people like Jeff Bezos, etc., they wouldn't have, you know, $100 billion. They'd have like maybe 10 million and be like, you know what? I did it. I nailed it. I feel so happy right now. I'm going to retire. It doesn't happen. They say it's the only hard time, as in school is hard, but then it's easier, because that definitely isn't true, obviously. Oh, I mean, you know, you got to hand it to him. Obviously, I can't condone the school environment here at all, but we've got some lovely desks. I mean, just really, the desks at my school are nothing like this, that's for sure. Arguably, you know, spray painted white kind of ruins the aesthetic, but the actual build quality of the desk, oh, top notch. I mean, the imagery here is very potent. Like, it even says, I'm pretty sure, they've kind of like blanked it out, but it's still there. If I can actually get it for a second. Yeah, they got SWAT written on them, so this isn't even saying like, I mean, either they're saying that, you know, teachers or enforcers are like SWAT teams, but you basically have a pop band with their members trying to beat up some riot officers, which is very, very potent imagery for a pop band, you know? You gotta respect it. I guess that's a reference to like being in a skyscraper or reaching the roof. If you want to eat and have fun, young man, why don't you just wait until lunchtime? See, it's easy rebuking of their points. Sound is succeeding of Livid. A studying Sci Factory. Ooh, what delicious alliteration, which obviously is just from the translation, maybe. Studying Sci Factory. That's one of those translations where I understand it, kind of, but it also makes my brain hurt a lot, so I'm gonna move on. But it is true, though. I mean, you know, like if you think back to, like, you know, exams, essays you do as a kid, just the sound of scratching pens and heavy sighing, that's all it is. The most natural environment for a child. And that is the biggest lie, because it never ends. Like I said earlier, you go from school, home, PC room, to work, home, PC room. Oh, look at this. What we have here? Is this like the child buried under the weight of the schoolwork with the hand sticking out? It's a bit cheesy, but I dig it. Yeah, you roll, you fucking body roll. I mean, ooh, look at that. We roll, everybody say no. Oh, they're gonna have a dance off. If only we could. Oh, this is about to get really lit. Jesus, I paused it at the right or the wrong time. I'll go back a bit to get the impact, but they're gonna have a dance off. It looks like we're gonna see the SWAT team joining up with them, or they're gonna have a dance off. Imagine how much easier society's problems could be solved if we had just had dance offs for stuff. You know what I mean? It would be a lot more easier speaking out on issues like this, fascism, that kind of stuff, if you could solve it with a dance off. Just something to think about. Everybody say no. Everybody say no. I got some very early 2010s kind of dubstep beat, but I dig it. Oh, Jungkook. Wait, was that Jungkook or Jimin who just gave us the spice? I think Jungkook's at the front, so maybe that was Jimin. Kind of besides the point, isn't it? Because what it's really all about is that tasty little flying kick. Oh, I like the imagery, the way, don't look at an explosion, they just blew up the stage, they turn around. That is interesting, because yeah, in a way, while obviously, you know, you can see huge differences between this and their more current stuff, at the same time, not a lot has changed. It's still quite rebellious, it still speaks about quite real issues that a lot of people just aren't going into. Yeah, I'm impressed, because while, you know, I had an inkling of what it was going to be like, I think it was even more cohesive and even more kind of in your face, like this is it. This isn't a soft like, oh, teachers, what are you like kind of thing. Like, no, it's like hard, like the imagery is hardcore. Like I said, you got guys in literal SWAT vests, and only just, you know, that would be kind of interesting enough by itself, but then they're actually attacking them and stuff, you know? It's pretty in your face about it. It's almost quite heartwarming to know that like they're still speaking out with this much kind of grit and venom in their very early years. That's cool. And yeah, because as you know, the Rise of Bangtan documentary series is heavily leaning into like the education side of things now in the early years. I'm glad I watched this. Thank you guys for recommending that. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to it. Please don't forget to check out my Patreon in the description and my Discord as well. I've got a fun space to chill out and talk about whatever, how nice, you know, V's eyes are and other stuff. Maybe if you feel like it. And please make sure you are subscribed and definitely click the bell notification so you can see exactly when my videos are uploaded. Oh, imagine waiting to watch one of my videos. Life's too short. Or is that the wrong way around? But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you again very soon, I'm sure. Bye for now. And remember, if you like this reaction to BTS N.O, then click the subscribe button with any one of your 10 toes. Or fingers.